Hey guys, Watson here. With Splatoon 3 finally being revealed, I can't stop thinking about the game, so let me share my hopes and wishes for the upcoming game. The possibilities are endless, and I'm also looking forward to hearing from you guys what your expectations and hopes are to discuss everything in the comments. But for now, let's not waste any more time and start with the video, shall we? Let us skip the news. That's it, that's the video, that's all I want. Just kidding of course, but having a skip button for the news is long overdue. While the news segments were always charmful, as dedicated players you will have seen everything after a while and it just becomes an annoyance. So having the option to skip it would be appreciated. I briefly gonna mention the obvious as well. I want more new weapons, sub-weapons, special weapons, gear, abilities, cosmetic options and so on. From what we have seen, they're gonna deliver on that, so I'm optimistic we will see plenty new content. Speaking about gear and abilities though, I want them to implement even more ways to get the gear and abilities you want more easily, or get rid of the grinding part as a whole, and just let us put and edit every ability we want on any gear anytime. Needing to level up gear and farm for ability chunks just to get the exact ability you want is nothing more than a mindless, mostly unenjoyable grind. Beginners will be in a disadvantage since they don't have access to the same perfected gear as veterans, and even for a veteran like me, I often chose to pick the gear I wasn't too fond of because I didn't want to commit a few extra hours to get my desired abilities on good looking gear and just ran with the easiest and fastest option there is, resulting in a mix of gear which doesn't look good together to get the abilities I wanted, and even that takes hours already. I just want to be stylish and express myself with the amazing cosmetic options the game offers, and not suffer a competitive disadvantage in doing so, if I'm not in the mood to invest even more hours just to get one or two more pieces of good looking gear. Another big elephant in the room which got criticized a lot in the first games, the rotation system. Please either get rid of it or change it up significantly. Countless of times I was eager to play a few rounds, just to notice there are two unenjoyable maps on a mode I'm not in the mood for, which just led me to not play at all. Sometimes you want to play and train a specific weapon but you can't because there are only unfavorable maps for it, which you would never play it on in rotation, and you have to wait days to actually do so. Sometimes you just want to play one weapon on a certain map but are stuck with an unfavorable map 50% of the time, resulting in a frustrating experience. Either let us queue for every mode with different 2 map rotations for each, or let us play one mode with a bigger map pool in rotation, like 6 different maps, or even all of them, like in other shooter games. And please, let us actually choose our weapon depending on the map and team we're gonna play with. Like mentioned earlier, you sometimes end up in a rotation with a weapon where your weapon excels on one map, while being pretty bad on the other. Also, you have no control over actually having a decent team comp, and you can end up with 3 chargers in your team. Just after we found a lobby of 8 to play in, give us a minute like in the private lobbies to show us what exact map mode we play on and what our teammates intend to play, so we can actually change up our weapon to fill in a role needed for a decent team composition. Too many times you get thrown under the bus because of a trashy team comp, but you can't avoid. You could even implement a feature which lets you save gear sets with certain weapons attached to it to be quicker at picking what you want before a match, so we don't have to wait forever. Another big wish for me is a better rank system. While the ranking system works for a more crowded region like Japan, it simply doesn't in the West, where you continuously lose above 30 points while you only gain between 0 and 3 each round. I can actually recall times where I wanted to push to a higher power level, ended up winning 15 games, while only losing 1, and I still managed to lose points overall. An option to queue for regional or worldwide matchmaking would be appreciated as well. Also, when you have a higher power, there should be an option to go for a longer queue to get better suited lobbies for your skill level. Especially when you reach the top of the ranking system, you tend to get paired with a lot of players of significantly lower skill level, and I would gladly wait a few minutes if it guarantees a better match. Still having the option to go for a faster queue for instant matches, like it is currently, would make everyone happier in the end. Another online related thing are servers. Compared to other shooters, Splatoon's online experience is lacking and would benefit greatly from actual servers for a smooth and stable online experience. Nintendo recently updated their online infrastructure, so there's hope. A proper replay feature would be great as well. Yes, we already can take clips with the Switch, but I'm talking about an in-game replay feature which records the matches as a whole, which you can rewind and view from every angle imaginable. Super Smash Bros. And Overwatch have similar features already, and it would be a blessing for Splatoon content to have for montages and other high quality productions, while also providing a viable feature to review your own gameplay. Talking about maps, I want more variety again. Put more objects and gimmicks on the maps like they used to in the first game, where we had movable platforms, rising sea levels, altering the maps and so on. Compared to that, Splatoon 2 maps seem a bit generic. We had the inclusion of ink rails and sponges, which was great, but not nearly enough. It's not like they don't have any ideas. There are plenty of other cool objects from the story mode, which would really shake up the battle and bring a unique twist to each of the maps, like the gushers, dash tracks, bounce pads and improved riding rails. The Splatfest maps show how well they can be implemented and how much it adds to a map, so please, more of that. I would like them to expand on the training room as well. It should be bigger, more unique dummies and more options to alter the game, like letting us choose abilities to test maxed out swim speed gear, for example. Also, add a dummy which moves randomly as well as at different speeds, which would greatly help with aim warm-ups. Also, bring back the basketball hoop from Splatoon 1 and I'm happy again. Another thing I want is more options to communicate. We had this way and Booyah for some time now, at least extended with 2 more options and use the other 2 buttons on the D-pad which are currently unused. Something like over here, I need help, wait or group up would be nice to see. Maybe they could transform to say something else as well after you get splattered for even more options, like they changed this way to ouch in the current game. You could even go as far as to add a whole menu to have even more commands, similar like you can open the map to select something there. But I'm already happy if they expand on what they currently have. Another more wacky idea would be some sort of weight and height customization, which would really allow to strategically enhance the weapon rolls you play. Imagine you could make your Inkling slightly bigger to get more health points. While your movement gets slower, you can't jump as high and have a bigger hitbox. That would allow us to create some really tanky weapons. On the flip side, maybe you can make your Inkling a bit lighter and smaller, which decreases your health points but make you quicker and jump higher, which you could use to enhance an assassination or ninja-like playstyle. I'm just putting this idea out there. I don't think it's likely they're gonna do something like this, since it would change up the formula too much. But you can get creative and imaginative while coming up with ideas, which is fun as well. Talking about another crazy idea. What if they remove the set, sub and special weapons and let us choose on our own what we want to run on each weapon? This would leave us with endless possibilities to play this game. I'm aware that this is unlikely and would lead to everyone playing the same few sub and special weapons, whatever sub and special currently performs the best, which would require very good balancing to make it work. But I just want to have more options when it comes to weapon sets. I would already be happy if every weapon gets 3 sets instead of 2. Maybe they could give each weapon 2 subs and 2 special weapons each, which we can choose and combine from. That way we would still end up with most specials and subs being played, but it would still give us plenty more options. That's all I could think of for now. I'm sure you guys have so many more unique hopes and wishes for Splatoon 3. I can't wait to hear every single one of them, so just put everything in the comments. There's a lot to discuss and speculate, don't hold back and be creative. I have another spicy montage coming up, which should be ready for next week, so there's that to look forward to as well. As always, like, comment and subscribe for more juicy Splatoon content. With that being said, have a good one, see you around guys, Watson out.